Hey there, corporate misfits, and welcome to the series Mastering Kajabi in 21 Days. I'm so excited to share with you about how you can use Kajabi in your online coaching, your course creation, or membership business so that you can build a life of freedom and stop trading time for money. So if you are new around here, my name is Brittany Darrington, and I'm the founder of the Corporate Misfit community, and I help women to build their online business using platforms like Kajabi so that they can automate, create sales with ease, and ultimately build their courses and coaching business and sharing their expertise with their tribe. So in this series, we're going to talk all about how to use Kajabi inside and out, the perks of using Kajabi, and how it can really change your life. So if you have not tried out Kajabi yet, I do have a trial which supports this channel, and also you can get some amazing resources such as landing pages that we have designed for you, such as sales pages, thank you pages, opt-in, and also some registration and tripwire pages. In addition to that, you can get access to our mini training, which is our beta launch club, which allows you to learn how to launch an online course or a coaching business in just 30 days. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into what we're going to talk about in today's lesson. Pricing your products. Okay, so I remember when I first got started in the online coaching space and I was confused at what to price my products at. So I had to sit down and really do a come to Brittany moment with myself to identify what the proper pricing was for my coaching, my membership, and my courses. Now, over time, my prices have increased, but I have waited until I actually mastered my expertise in order to increase those prices. So I want to share with you some of the methods that I use in order to create my pricing in our business, and also how you can utilize Kajabi to price out your products and provide some amazing options to your audience. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is I like to get out a sheet of paper, I like to grab my coffee and my wine, and I like to really dive in deep. How well do I know what it is I'm talking about? How well do I know my expertise? Now, it's okay if you're just getting started, but you need to be honest with yourself. I'm just getting started, or I'm in this intermediate stage, or I'm at an expert level. It's okay, again, if you're just getting started, but you need to be honest so as you're pricing out your products, you can keep this in consideration. Now, the next thing you want to do is identify what you're going to create for your digital asset. When you've identified what your digital asset's going to be, I want you to go through each of your lessons, your modules, maybe the PDFs that you're creating to go along with it, and really break down how much is that truly worth. If you were to go and outsource this from someone else, how much would you be willing to pay to get this information? Now, there's nothing wrong with putting a lot of love and energy into your business and your work. That is amazing because ultimately, as course creators, we deserve to provide the best work possible to our customers. But I want you to also know when you're pricing, because I know you love yourself and the work that you're doing, and that's perfectly fine. I want you to keep in mind that it's okay to start off at a lower price and ultimately increase your pricing along the way. Now, there's going to be a ton of other gurus who say, start at $3,000, start at $5,000. But after working with thousands of women to help them launch their online business in coaching, consulting, course creation, and memberships, I have found that taking this step and this approach can truly help you to get to where you want to go and eventually scale your business. So I want you to think about what it is that you're providing, how much value are you truly providing in there, and what would you really be willing to pay as yourself? Like, what would you pay if someone else were to come in with exactly what you have and say, here you go, what would you pay? Now, be honest as you're writing this down, and if you find that you're putting something high, perfectly cool. If you find that you're putting something low, that's cool too. Now, before you go into what your final pricing is going to be, I want you to do something called beta. Beta is where you're going to test out this product to ensure that your customers are getting a result. No matter where you are in your business, whether you're an experienced business owner, you're just getting started in coaching and consulting, or you're new to being online, creating a beta product helps you to better understand what results, what needs to improve, and how you can make this product better and ultimately charge what it is worth. So when you're looking at this, I want you to look at what you think you want to charge for this pricing, and I want you to charge less for beta. Beta, I usually like to charge either 50% off or somewhere around the 30% off or 20% off mark. Once you do this, try to get some people to join, get them the results. And as you're going through this, I want you to send a survey at the end asking, how much would you have been willing to pay for this program after going through this? This is a really great way for you to get true feedback from your audience and understand what that pricing should be. Now, if people are just saying, oh, this was great, I would pay more, ask them specifically, what would you have paid? Because this helps you to better understand what pricing will work with your audience and your market. Please don't do what I see so many course creators do. They go and they look at some of their people that they admire, such as course creators or influencers, and what they do is they look at their pricing and say, you know what, I'm gonna charge $19.97 as well, or I'm gonna charge $5,000. But what they don't know is how long they have been doing what it is that they do, how they have been building their audience and mastering their expertise. So again, I want you to take some time to identify what it is that you're providing, and then how can you put this into beta form and ultimately test things out and better understand what that pricing should be. Now, once you have that information from your audience, I want you to then package it all up and turn it into the final product. Now, that doesn't mean you can't improve along the way, but we're now going to add the pricing of what we believe it would be. Now, the great part is if you are going to be providing something that is going to be over, let's say, the $497 mark, and you want to give your audience a payment plan, or you want to have some sort of subscription or things along those lines, you can do just that in Kajabi. So in Kajabi, you have multiple options. It could be a one-time payment, multiple payments, subscriptions, and so much more. Now, one of the great things is when you are creating your payment plan, if you choose to have one, you can add a little bit of interest due to being able to break this into payments and not being able to get paid up front. So this allows your customers to make an educated decision on, do I want to pay up front or do I want to use a payment plan, which has a little bit of interest associated with it. So one thing that you can also think about when you are looking into your online pricing and trying to figure out at what to price your digital products at, I want you to also think about how can you include bonuses for free, which help to increase the price of your actual product. So ultimately, this just helps to add more value, and then when you're charging your prices, it helps someone to say, goodness gracious, this price is over $6,000, but ultimately I'm only gonna pay $500, or I'm gonna pay $900 because I'm getting so much value and I can see the value that I'm going to be receiving. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna take you behind the scenes on what I do to kind of really break out how I'm gonna go about pricing, how I'm going to get my final pricing after beta, and then ultimately how do I identify if it needs to be a payment plan based on my audience. Okay, so let's go behind the scenes and take a peek in Kajabi and understand how I go about that. So I want to take you behind the scenes of my own product and show you how I go about pricing. So basically anything that falls over the $497 price range, I like to either give a payment plan to where they can basically break the payment into two. I usually do this for things that fall into the $997 area. However, in the past, if someone does reach out and they're unable to kind of make whatever that pricing is work at that time, and they want to do a payment plan, we'll come up with an option to break it into two payments. So I want you to think to yourself, would my customer need a payment plan? I usually like to do a payment plan whenever there's something like a high ticket cost associated, but when it's under that $500 or kind of more of that, like anything $600 and under, sometimes even $997 and under, I like to keep that as a full one-time payment. And then based on what they're learning and what they're going to get and how long it takes, I will then consider breaking it into two payments if it falls into kind of the $997 and above. So I want you to ask yourself, how much does it cost? And then would your customer, based off of their pain point where they're at right now, would they need a payment plan? Because not everybody always needs a payment plan, depending on what you're teaching on and also what they're ultimately getting and when they're getting it. Are they getting it all up front? Are they getting it in drip? Like, what is it and how do they receive it? Now, when it comes to memberships, Memberships are a great way for you to get consistent cash flow and start to generate revenue every single month or every quarter, every year. And it helps you to be able to provide ongoing value for your customers. So we have a membership and it's $97 a quarter. And then what happens is at the end of that quarter, they get charged again and they can cancel at any time, but it just allows them to continue to get some of the amazing products and services that we have for them. Now, I want you to go through, again, what are your prices in your business? Like something for $47 does not need to be a payment plan. It's something that's a one-time offer. Here you go. Again, I try to not do anything under the 600 mark under the 600 mark into 2 payments. I try to keep that as one payment so we don't have to go back and forth or anything. And again, it depends on what they're receiving. So if they're receiving something up front and it's a ton of digital products, that they're going to get all up front, you might not want to break that into multiple payments. Also, think about your return policy. So if you have a special policy for some of your products, maybe it's a 5 or 7 day guarantee or a 30-day guarantee, even if they receive it, hey, you have a guarantee. If you buy all of this and you find it's not working, here's that refund policy and that guarantee. So I want you to do what works best for you, and I want you to pick prices based on what you believe would be best for your customers at where they're at with what you're offering. And also don't be in your customers' wallets. So I know that's easier said than done, but I don't want you to fall into the trap of saying, well, maybe I can't afford that, so I don't want to offer it at this price. I want you to jump into where your customer is, your ideal avatar, and ask yourself, what is it that they would probably be able to afford, and would this make sense based off of what I'm sharing? Okay, so let's go and look at some of my client stuff. They have a coaching program and they also have a individual coaching. Of course, their individual coaching is going to cost more. So you can see the sales page we designed here, but their individual coaching is going to be either $399 or they have to apply to learn more, which is a more in-depth type of program. Now, for the people who are not interested in this, they're like, this is really not my thing. I can learn with a group. I don't want to do individual. Well, with the individual coaching, they price this in the $500 to $800 range. And now that allows people to join, but be in a group setting versus a individual one-to-one type of setting. So I want you to think about what type of setting is your customer going to be in? Are they just getting a course and it's all pre-recorded? Are they going to get live access to you? Is it a monthly subscription? Like, what is it so we can price it properly? Now I have another client, Molly, who her company, they focus on doing like individual group coaching for the month. Theirs comes out to be about $25 and people can buy right there. But the really cool part is that it's just a monthly membership and you can cancel at any time. It's not ongoing. It's not a subscription. And it's just one of those things you pay and you go and you keep it moving. And she has the times and all of that stuff. So there's no physical commitment to doing it ongoing if she was not able to. Another client, Luli, they are able to basically offer a ton of different options. They do like a 28-day program, and they have some options that include live coaching, some options that include more of a, here's all of the information, get started, watch the videos. And they have also other features that allow you to be able to include recipes and things along those lines. So you can take a peek at some of the stuff that they have going on, and their pricing is just different depending on what you are receiving. So I want you to think about what would be best for you, and ultimately what is your customer getting so you can pick the best price. Now let's jump into the back end of Kajabi. I want to show you how to make an offer. So you're going to go to sales and then go to offers. Once you've figured out your pricing, I want you to identify, is it going to be a monthly charge? Is it going to be a payment plan or a one-time payment? Now, I do have a video where I do walk you through how to create an offer, but the only thing I want to focus on within this particular video is to walk you through how to edit your offer details. So when I go to offer details, this is where I'm going to plug in the title of my offer and then ensure that the pricing is going to be to my liking. So for example, one-time payment, then you have the $297 price, that means that this person is going to be able to pay via Stripe or PayPal, and it's going to be a one-time payment. There's no payment plan. But if I wanted to change it to multiple payments, this is where I can break it up. It's not necessarily a recurring payment. It's just like, this is going to be 2 or 3 or even 4 payments. Then I would go to multiple payment and then select how much is that going to be and how many number of payments is it going to be. Now, if I want it to be a recurring payment, which is going to be more along the lines of a monthly subscription or a quarterly subscription, things along those lines, then I'm going to plug in every single month. They are going to receive a specific product and it's going to be this amount. So we're going to have the amount of what it is. This trial period here in Kajabi is just basically saying that they'll get a series free, a couple of days free, and then it will automatically charge them. So leave this blank if you don't want to have like a trial period. But this is a great way for you to have reoccurring revenue and ultimately provide a subscription-based method. So there you have it. Have fun picking your pricing within your business. You're able to see some of the different options, whether it's like individual coaching, group coaching, if it's a membership, if it's a course,